If you're still doing that old doorway stretch for your tight pecs, you might be wasting your time. There's a far more effective way to stretch and open up your pectoral muscles, your chest muscles, and once you feel the difference from this, you'll never go back. What's going on, guys? Blake here. So the doorway stretch is a basic static stretch for the pecs. It's good to stretch your pecs. Most people are tight there due to poor breathing patterns and stress, and it really causes a lot of shoulder problems. But the doorway stretch is a very, very simple stretch, and it's just frankly not very effective. I used to teach this exercise for many years. I still start some of my online coaching clients with the doorway stretch, but I quickly moved them away from this stretch, the doorway stretch, to a more advanced way of stretching, which is way more effective. I'm going to show you that right now, but before I do, spend 30 seconds massaging your pecs, all right? You can use a ball, you can use a percussion massage gun. You want to work the pec muscle tissue and massage it first. This is generally kind of what you want to do with any muscle that is short and tight, all right? You first want to massage it and then stretch it, okay? What massaging it will do is it'll reduce the neurological drive going into the muscle, telling it to turn on and contract and stay on. It'll inhibit that, shut it down a little bit, pre-loosen it, if you will, which just basically makes any stretching and elongation for the muscle that you do far more effective. You might also want to work on your diaphragmatic breathing, okay? A lot of people get tight in their pecs because when they're breathing, they're not using their diaphragm to breathe. I've made various YouTube videos about that. I'll put some links to that in the description down below. But let's get into the stretch. What you need to do this is a squat rack or a door frame. We can kind of do this in a door frame, but effectively, what do the pecs do? The pecs, when they shorten and contract, they adduct the arm. They bring the arm in like this. If we want to stretch the pectorals and create more length here, we have to abduct the arm. Take the arm kind of away from the body this way, okay? That's why the classic doorway stretch looks like this. All right, what you're doing here is you're abducting the arms, taking them back, all right, opening up the chest. The first kind of thing that I want to say is we're going to be doing a stretch here that looks similar to a doorway stretch, except we're going to do it one side at a time. By doing this on one side, you'll feel a much deeper stretch on your pec, okay? But you're going to get set up in basically a one-sided unilateral doorway stretch position. I like to have my clients put their arm out at about 45 degrees like this, all right? Kind of get into a staggered stance, turn away from the pec that's being stretched. Just like this, you should already feel your pecs being stretched, okay? This is kind of like a deep doorway stretch on one arm here, right? But this already has accomplished what we want to accomplish, which is elongating and making the pec longer. It's being stretched right now. But the real magic comes into play here when we do PAILS and rails, right? This is an acronym for progressive angular isometric loading and regressive angular isometric loading. It's just a better way of stretching that involves us squeezing the muscle that we are stretching while it's in an elongated stretch position and then contracting the opposite muscles, okay? So it's basically gonna look like this. Your arm is up, you're twisted away, you're already feeling that stretch on your pecs. What you're gonna do in this position is activate the pecs, turn them on and squeeze them, right? You're turning on the same muscles that you would otherwise turn on to swing your arm in, like you're doing a chest fly like this, right? However, no motion is occurring because the arm is blocked by the door frame or the squat rack, all right? We're contracting these muscles in a lengthened position, turning them on, squeezing hard, but nothing's moving, okay? But this is really where the magic of the PAILS and rails comes into play. We're working these muscles in an elongated and stretched position, okay? But basically the goal here is to hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds, progressively squeezing those pecs harder and harder and harder and harder until you're done with the 20 or 30 seconds. At that point, you're kind of pushing down this way, all right, as hard as you can, and you're really feeling the pecs work a lot, right? Immediately after you're done with the PAILS portion, which is activating the pecs, now you're gonna do the thing that really makes the difference here, which is activate these upper back muscles, okay? Like the lower trapezius down here. Those muscles take the arm like this, all right? If you did Y raises or took your arm back like that, you'd be activating those muscles of the upper back in between the shoulder blades. And that is what we're trying to activate here. Again, in this exact same position. Now I'm trying to activate those muscles in my upper back, go along with the stretch, and almost try to like take my arm off of the rack or the door frame. It's not essential that you do that. What is essential is that you're squeezing those upper back muscles and you're building that contraction there as well, gradually over 20 or 30 seconds until the end of it. You're pulling that arm back as hard as you can, all right? Really squeezing those upper back muscles going along with the position of the stretch, all right? That is basically one round of PAILS and rails, okay? After doing that, your chest will feel so much more open and it's gonna be a lot more effective than the doorway stretch. I'll show it to you again, but I'll actually do a whole set of it in real time for you so you can kind of see what it looks like, all right? Again, nothing's actually moving. It's all about the muscles that you're trying to contract and whether or not they're lengthened, okay? I'll demonstrate on this side now, all right? The pec, right now, it's in a stretched and elongated position. I'm going to activate my pec now. Like I'm trying to swing my arm down this way. I'm squeezing it, all right? I'm not letting my body turn or anything like that. I'm staying in one position. I'm just turning on the pec, squeezing it harder and harder and harder, maybe even palpating it, poking it gently like this, just so I can really think about squeezing those muscles. Keep pushing into them harder and harder and harder. And now we're switching up and doing the rails portion. Now I'm squeezing the upper back, all right? And I'm trying to take my arm kind of along with the stretch back this way, but I'm not compensating and let my body turn. I'm keeping that pec stretched and elongated the whole time, all right? The goal is not actually to have anything leave the rack or the door frame. It's just to activate the upper back as hard as you can, all right? Hold that for about 20 or 30 seconds as well, and then you're done with your single set of PAILS and rails. There you have it. That's how you do PAILS and rails for the pectoral muscles. How many sets should you do of this? That's really going to be contingent upon you. I would say just basically do as much of this as necessary until you feel a difference in your pectoral tissue, all right? Your chest should feel more open when you're done doing this. You should notice that the shoulders can kind of come back a little bit more easily, more fluidly. You should find that your chest can expand a little bit better and breathing becomes a little bit easier, okay? So how much of this should you do? Enough until you kind of get to that point subjectively. But that's it for today. If you want me to be your coach, if you want me to assess your entire body, your posture, your mobility, your muscle imbalances, and then build a custom plan for you so that you can get results, kind of like what you just saw on screen here, check out my one-on-one coaching down below in the description. Other than that, let me know what you want me to make videos on in the future. Please do that for me. I'll make videos based on what you guys want to see. So comment below, let me know what you want me to make videos on, and I'll make sure to get to it. That's it for today. I'll see you next time.